Hi, my name is Wendy Literal, and today I'm going to show you how to do the clip path CSS feature. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to show you how this works. Now, this is actually a site that I found that I will kind of generate the stuff for you. But basically, what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the clip path is, let me move my note stuff out of the way here. But basically, what I'm going to talk about is, if I can find the appropriate thing. Man, I am just a tech genius this morning. I tell you what. All right, we will do red. Okay, so basically, this is what I'm talking about, this spot right here. See how this goes down and then it comes back up, and then this button has got some weird shapes to it. It's really cool, right? Like, it's just kind of adds that neat little extra. So I really enjoy having these kind of small features on sites, but of course there's a problem, there's a drawback, right? And the drawback is that, like everything else in the world, it is not compatible with IE. So this is the exact same website, and I did not do this website. I just think this is a phenomenal website from Luray Caverns, and I can use this for an example on many, many things because they did such a good job. But you can see the button's normal, it goes straight across. This is Edge. This is Microsoft's latest browser. And you see like there's nothing going on here. But what they do have that I wanted to show you is, you see this edge right here? This is one where they actually made like a transparent background and cut the image out. Like you can see if I pull it over here, oh, they actually made it gray. It's not even transparent. But you can see, I can't click and pull it and show you. I'm like trying to point to the screen so I can show you, but basically those edges, those are actually in the square image. And if you look at the image on the left, you can see that the gray goes all the way down. That it indicates to you that that's definitely an image where they put a gray background in it. So they just made the background the same color as the background of the website. And so it gives the look of being all cut up and everything, which is kind of cool considering it's a carved out cave. Well, parts of it are. So that's interesting, but you can see the rest of it is very bland. Like they didn't find a way around it for the rest of the elements. Like there's a square button down here. Well, here, I'll just show you the other ones. You can see what it looks like. So this is the Luray Caverns site on Chrome. Now Chrome, of course, it works down here, but you see how when you scroll down, it's got that neat little feature. Isn't that neat? Just like a neat little extra, right? And then the buttons, of course, have the flared edges. Again, this is an image, and you can see it a little bit better here, right? Like where the image comes apart. Like if you grab the image and pull it, that's how you can usually tell. That works really well too if you're trying to figure out what's burned in image, like text on image. If you grab it and you can pull it, that is a burned on text image. Just a little extra tip there. But if you scroll down on the bottom, you see how cool this looks with like the edges all turned up and everything. But if you go back to Edge and you look at it there, of course, it's just a square. That's all it is, right? And it's not that this doesn't look good. A lot of designs have been this way, where they're just big blocks of color, big blocks of text, but it adds a little neatness to it, having this like little funky edges on it. And if you scroll down, they do the same thing here, but in an upward pattern. And then down here in the 50-50s, again, 50-50 is half the screen and half the screen. And then scroll down here a little bit further. And then of course the button is again, neat little edges on down here. And this is all CSS. This is not like it used to be, like back in the dark ages of the web, you would create an image with a transparent background, and you would cut those edges into your image, and then you would just have the button have a background image, or you'd have the image just have a transparent side, so you could get these edges without having extra CSS on it. And I don't know why. Maybe because this is like they've got so many edges on this one, and then this image cuts up right here. That's probably why they made this whole thing one big image. But I wanted to show you what happens on mobile, because it's interesting, because they didn't carry these elements over to mobile. So if I shrink this down, and this doesn't work every time with mobile, but it's a pretty good representation of what the site will look like on mobile. So responsive designs. So let's make them the same size. Yeah, there we go. All right, so you can see differences, subtle differences all the way, right? But now in mobile, like they're almost identical, right? I think there must be some differences on the, yeah, that's it. The windows are not exactly the same size. So this is a percentage, so it's a little bit different. So let's see if we can get it the same, so we can be the same for our, nope, not gonna happen. Okay, well, I tried. So as you scroll down, you'll see though, is that this is the Chrome, this is the Chrome one, I'm sorry. This is the Chrome one. And as you scroll down, you see all those edges are gone, and they changed their side images. You see now the images are, instead of being displaying over here on the right, see the cutout over here, see what they did? They went back and they made them square, and they take them out of being a stacked image, like having, instead of having one giant image on the right, they separated it out. Now on mobile, it shows two smaller images. So that's just done with media queries, CSS, and maybe some JavaScript in there. You probably don't need it, but if you just do your media queries, you can say, hey, I want this image to show up here, and when it shows up here, this div will show on the right, and on the right, you can have it be this big giant image, but hide that on mobile, and on mobile, we're gonna have these other two images show up, and they're gonna be stacked like this. So that's what's happening here. But I just thought I wanted to show you that because it's just interesting how the designers took the differences between Chrome and Edge and made them into something that would still look good depending on, even though people visit when different ones, like Edge is on the right and Chrome is on the left. It's just really good how they broke it down, right? So if you scroll down a little bit further, you got the Carriage Museum. We've been here, by the way. This is why I know about this website, because this place is awesome. If you ever need a family trip, Luray is awesome. And you scroll down, so everything looks pretty darn identical, which is very good considering that they are two very different browsers. And then you scroll down here. Oh, look at that. They did keep the funkiness down here, which is interesting, because why would they do it down here but not up here? I kind of feel like they shouldn't have. Is the buttons different? So they did keep this. Oh, that's weird. Okay, yeah, so it is normal. It's flat because the clipping path does not work full out on Edge. So it makes sense that this would be square. This one, they did keep a little bit of it, but then the bottom isn't. So like, why do the top but not the bottom? Is it like that on the full one? Oh, because on the full one, they have the 50-50 directly under it. That's why they did it that way. See, I feel like on mobile, they could have added it here and it would have flowed a little bit better instead of being abrupt, because it makes sense that it's abrupt on this, on the full size, because you've got a clear cut to new information right here. But down here, when you take it down to mobile, you don't have that. So I feel like they could have added it there. But scrolling down a bit further, you got the group rates. Group rates was its own little entity. I'm going the wrong way. I'm sorry if I'm jumping too fast. See, group rates was its own little entity here. And then on mobile, it's stacks. So mobile, you have right here where they made it so that you can only purchase Luray Caverns here. I wonder why they didn't do a slideshow here. Like, because on the full one, they have the full, right? Like you have the 3 different things you could purchase, but they just nix them when you get down to mobile. And I'm not sure why they would do that. Like, why not just have like a little slideshow here where they could swipe right and get to the ones that they want to see? I feel like that's a missed opportunity there. But scrolling down, you scroll down a little bit further, this goes into its own little thing, which makes total sense on mobile. Sorry, I was reading the fine print there. That's a little tiny, I feel like, for mobile, but you scroll down a little bit more. So this is another interesting thing. So look how the image is kind of cut off here. It could have been done a little bit better. Like, see how nice it looks here? Because they're trying to capture the skyline. Like, Shenandoah is just known for their amazing mountain views. And you can really see that here. So they're trying to capture that with the sky and the sunset and then the lights on and then the house. But when you get down to mobile, it disappears and it becomes kind of cut off and you only kind of sort of see the mountains. So a really easy way to fix this is to just have the bottom, so when you have your image, just have it be fixed, but have it be fixed from the bottom center or the bottom right. And then the house will always be full view. Or if you don't mind if part of the house gets cut off, because really the view is what you're after, make it the bottom center. And then you'll get more of it. So you can make it so that it shrinks to your will, you know, so, or you can just have it, the whole thing shrink, you know, based on the size of your, like if this was to get a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, you could have the image shrink in proportion, so it just would make its own, like this would be smaller or higher, shorter, or whatever. If you did percentage wise, I wonder why they decided to do it that way. So this is a background image that's just getting cut off, basically. So other differences, if you scroll down here to the last one, of course the button goes back to normal, which is also interesting because if you scroll down here, I feel like this is so much larger than this. And on mobile, it does make sense to shrink things down, but you don't want to shrink them down so much. I feel like that is almost like when it's on mobile, it's its own header because this is a whole new section. But this doesn't give you the sense that it's a header. So I would have made that a little bit larger. But other than that, I mean, like, I feel like the differences that they have between the two, and of course they've got the Virginias for Lovers, they're part of the tourism. Other than that, I feel like they did a really good job, like, transferring this across browsers and down to mobile, because that's hard to do. It really is. It's hard to do because you're dealing with how many devices out now? I mean, it's not just Android and iOS, which is Apple. It's like those times different devices, different screen sizes on those devices, times different versions. I mean, it gets impossible. So you just kind of gotta do your best, But yeah, I love this site. I think this is a really good learner site. Like if anybody's out there trying to learn, the clip path, or if you're trying to learn how to transition from desktop to tablet to mobile, to random devices, I feel like this is a really good site to learn on because they kept it simple. The design is very easy, and the elements that they included, like they didn't go crazy with the clip path. This is kind of cool how they integrated. This is like, I believe this is just CSS. I don't think there's JavaScript here. But it's very cool how they did this because the site is it's not overdone with the clipping. Because when you get in here, and I'll put this link to this in below, like you can go crazy with how crazy you want to get with like the clip path. But you got to remember that you got to account for people that are using Microsoft, Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer. Like you got to account for them not being able to see it. So if you do something crazy like this to your images, or even just a background color, you got to remember that other people are just going to see a box because Edge is not with the times. So, all right, so that's it for this. This is how you use it. And then if you do use this website, all your code is down here for your styles. So you would just copy and paste this into whichever code or media query that you're using. And that's it. If you have any questions, please leave the comments below. I am very active in the YouTube community, on the comments especially. Or if you liked it, give a thumbs up or give a comment, and don't forget to subscribe because that does help me grow my channel. And I'm up to 74 subscribers right now, and I just can't believe how quickly it's grown in such a short amount of time. So that's it. Take care, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.